It's an honor to have you. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。本日は非常に特別な方にいらしていただいております。歴史的な選挙の圧勝ということで、私たちするものがあると思います。私たち素晴らしい絆を持っておりまして、だからこそ私の方からも応援のメッセージを出させていただきました。素晴らしい人であり、私も心から尊敬している方です。日本の歴史上、最も素晴らしい選挙で圧勝したということで、人気の高い女性であり、太い方だと私も思っております。本日に関しては、貿易、その他の課題について多く話をする予定です。
Thank you for inviting me to the White House today.
Thank you.
My visit this family, so given the current situation.
Oh, please, yes, absolutely. You have a very good interpreter. We're known for a long time. We've changed it.
今、中東情勢も含めて、それからもう世界中の安全保障環境が非常に厳しい状況にあります。
Right now, situations in the Middle East and also the entire world, we are actually experiencing a very severe security environment.
そして世界経済もかなり厳しい影響を受けつつあります。
And also the global economy is now about to experience a huge hit because of this development.
でも私は、世界の、繁栄とそして、平和に、貢献できる、世界中に、平和と繁栄をもたらせるのはドナルだけだと思っています。
But even against that backdrop, I firmly believe that it is only you, Donald, who can achieve peace across the world.
そのために私は、諸外国に働きかけて、しっかりと応援をしたいと思っています。
And to do so, I am ready to reach out to many of the partners in the international community to achieve our objective together.
今日私はそれを伝えに来ました。
So today, I came here at the White House to directly convey this message to you.
そしてイランに関しては核兵器の開発、これは許されてはならないことですから、日本も働きかけをしてきました。
And speaking of the situation in Iran, Iran's development of nuclear weapons must never be allowed. And that is why we, Japan, have been urging them and also reaching out to other partners in the world.
そして我が国は周辺国に対する攻撃、ホルムズ海峡の実質的な閉鎖についても、これは非難をし、そして茂木外務大臣からもイランの外務大臣に対して、もうそれをやめるように申し入れをしてきました。
In addition, Japan condemns Iran's actions such as attacking the neighboring region and also the de facto or effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz. As a matter of fact, my fellow minister, Minister Motegi, Foreign Minister Motegi, also had a direct exchange with the Iranian foreign minister and urged Iran to stop such activities.
Yeah, context. You have to let me know. You can let me know.
そしてとにかく今中東だけじゃなくてインド太平洋の安全保障環境も大変厳しい中にあります。そんな中でドナルドが日本に深い信頼を寄せてくれて揺るぎない同盟にコミットメントしてくれていることに感謝をいたしております。
And also the security environment in the Indo-Pacific region is also becoming increasingly severe. Donald, you have shown deep trust in Japan and also the unwavering commitment to the Japan-US alliance. Once again, thank you very much for that.
今日は日本とアメリカが共に強く豊かになっていくための話し合いをしたいと思っています。
And today, I look forward to having a discussion on how we can cooperate to make our two nations, both Japan and the United States, stronger and more prosperous.
それから世界のエネルギーマーケットを落ち着かせるための提案も持ってまいりました。
And I also brought specific proposals to calm down the global energy market.
でこの後、主に、経済安全保障、重要鉱物ですが、エネルギーに関する協力、そしてお互いに強い経済を作るための、成長のための話し合い、経済成長のための話し合いをしたいと思っています。
So today, I really look forward to having our discussion, particularly focusing on our collaboration in economic security in the important areas such as energy and rare earth minerals. And also, I look forward to discussing with you how we can make our two economies stronger moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And you're doing a great job. Again, congratulations on the biggest win in the history of Japan. That's not bad. That's a pretty long history. That's a large nation with a great reputation, but it's a tremendous victory. Congratulations to everybody. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. We've become friends, and I'm very proud of the job you've done. It's not easy. Any questions?
Mr. President, are you fully satisfied with the level of support that you're getting from Japan on Iran, including around the minesweepers?
Well, we're going to be speaking about it today. Go ahead, you can go.
日本から、平井邸などの支援に関して、その点について今の状況に満足していらっしゃいますか？
We're going to be speaking about it today. We've had tremendous support and relationship with Japan and everything. And I believe that based on statements that were given to us yesterday, the day before yesterday, having to do with Japan, they are really stepping up to the plate. Yes.
非常に素晴らしい支援を受けていると思います。おとといのコメントから、日本からはそれに対して非常に力強いメッセージを得ていると私は思っています。
Unlike NATO.
NATO とは全く違いますね。
Please.
Mr. President, do you intend to lift sanctions on Iranian oil, and do you intend to potentially put U.S. troops or more troops in the region?
No, I'm not putting troops anywhere. If I were, I certainly wouldn't tell you. But I'm not putting troops, and we will do whatever is necessary to keep the price as well. I actually thought when I did this, look, the Dow just hit 50,000 a couple of weeks ago. They said that couldn't happen for 4 years. It wouldn't happen in my term. It's such an outrageous thing because I said it would happen. I didn't know it was going to happen that fast, but it just hit 50,000, and we did that in 1 year, not 4. S&P had just hit 7,000. They said that was even more impossible than the Dow hitting 50, and we did that in 1 year. So it was all done. Everything was going great. The economy was great. Oil prices were very low. Gasoline was dropping to, we had $1.99, $1.85. We had great everything. And I saw what was happening in Iran, and I said, I hate to make this excursion, but we're going to have to do it. And I actually thought the numbers would be worse. I thought that it would go up more than it did. But we're doing this excursion, and when it's completed, we're going to have a much safer world. And the Prime Minister agrees with me on this. She considers it to be terrible what Iran did. I think every country, just about every country does. Iran is a serious threat to the world, to the Middle East and to the world. And everybody agrees with me. I think virtually every country agrees with me on that. So I wanted to put out that fire. And I said, if we do that, oil prices will go up, the economy will go down a little bit. I thought it would be worse, much worse, actually. I thought there was a chance it could be much worse. It's not bad, and it's going to be over with pretty soon. We've obliterated the Navy. We've obliterated just about everything there is to obliterate, including leadership. The Navy's gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft equipment is gone. We're flying wherever we want to be. We have nobody even shooting at us. They have, and as you know, their leadership is gone. Their leaders are gone. They pick new leaders, they're gone. They pick new leaders, they're gone. And now they're looking for new leaders again. We can take out the island anytime we want. I call it the little island that sits there, so totally unprotected. And we've taken out everything but the pipes. We left the pipes because to rebuild the pipes would take years for them to do. But we are, I would say, we are substantially ahead of schedule. And I had to do this. I call it an excursion. I had to take this little excursion and do something that no other president had the courage to do. And everybody wanted to do it, but they never had the courage to do it. And I don't blame them. I'm not blaming them. It was left to me, and we've done a great job. Our military is incredible. We have an incredible military. We have the strongest military in the world by far. We have the greatest equipment in the world by far. In fact, Japan buys our equipment, buys a lot of it, and we're honored by that. And that's one of the things we'll be talking. They want to buy a lot of the military equipment. So it's just an honor to have the Prime Minister. We've had a tremendous relationship. Okay.
Mr. President.
I think she's going to have to go first before you. Is that okay? You understand? It's very good, I tell you. I mean, it's so nice that we don't have to listen. No, it's very good. I haven't picked up your language, so. The next time you come, I'll have your language mastered. All right, go ahead.
The war is almost over. Why is the Pentagon going to ask Congress for an additional $200 billion?
Well, we're asking for a lot of reasons beyond even what we're talking about in Iran. This is a very volatile world, and the military equipment, the power of some of this weaponry is unthinkable. You don't even want to know about it. Oh, you could end this thing in 2 seconds if you wanted to, but we are being very judicious. What we want to do, don't forget, Biden gave away, I rebuilt the military my first time. Biden gave away so stupidly to Afghanistan a lot. He didn't want to move it. He was too lazy, too stupid to move it. But it was a very small amount. It was a lot, but it was very small relative to what I purchased and what I built. We want to have vast amounts of ammunition, which we have right now. We have a lot of ammunition, but it was taken down by giving so much to Ukraine. They gave so much, Biden gave $350 billion worth of cash and military equipment to Ukraine, and he didn't rebuild anything. Fortunately, we have a tremendous, unlimited supply of what you call middle and upper middle armaments and military equipment, munitions, armaments, but munitions in particular. At the high end, we have a lot, but we're preserving it. We don't really need it, but we're building. Our manufacturers of military equipment are building at a level they've never seen before. They've never done before. Pete's in charge of it with all of us really, but Pete's been very strong on it. The general and Pete, myself, the whole group, and Raytheon is building 4 factories. Lockheed is building 5 or 6 factories, and they're building them fast because we had a very tough meeting with them. They were going out and buying back stock for $51 billion in one case. They spent $51 billion buying back stock. Now they're not allowed to do that. And they are now building a tremendous, there's never been anything like it, what's taking place right now. So we're in very good shape, but we want to be in the best shape we've ever been in. We were that, when I rebuilt the military, we were in great shape, and then Biden blew it. And he didn't do anything. He didn't build, he didn't do anything. And if you listen to the Democrats, they don't even want to have a military. Now you see how important it is. But we have the strongest military in the world. We have the best equipment. We make by far the best equipment. The other night, they had 114 rockets shot at a certain location. And out of 100 highly sophisticated rockets, out of 114 sophisticated rockets, every single one of them was shot down with our equipment. All our equipment. It's amazing, actually, how good it is. So we want to be sure, and it's a small price to pay to make sure that we stay tippy top.
Mr. President.
The Treasury Secretary this morning said there were defections among Iranian leadership. Are you aware of that, and is there anybody the U.S. can work with as a leader going forward?
Well, we have a man named the Treasury Secretary here, so maybe he wants to discuss it. Does anybody know, do you know who he is? Central Casting.
Yeah, so, and we are seeing the defections at all levels as they're starting to sense what's going on with the regime. It doesn't get reported here in the U.S. very well, but we are trouncing them from the air, and the regime will probably collapse within itself. At Treasury, we've seen where they've wired their money out of the country. We're coming for that. We're gonna get it back to the Iranian people.
And are you seeing defections?
On Israel, have you
There's a
talked,
lot of military defections also. You have a lot of military defections. I don't blame them.
thank you, Mr. President, have you talked to Prime Minister Netanyahu about attacking the oil and gas fields?
Yeah, I did. I told him, don't do that. And he's going to do that. We didn't discuss, we do, we're independent, we get along great. It's coordinated, but on occasion, he'll do something, and if I don't like it, and so we're not doing that anymore.
And the last one, if I could, the Fed chairman told me yesterday that he plans to stay until a new Fed chairman is confirmed, and he also plans to stay on the board until the investigation is the Federal Reserve is done.
Well, he's under investigation because he's building a building for hundreds of billions of dollars more than it's supposed to cost. The building you see over there is under budget and ahead of schedule. That's the ballroom. The ballroom is a much bigger building. It's a much more complex building than what he's doing, and it's at a fraction of the cost. Something is going on, whether it's contractors. That's what I do best in the world. I build great buildings. I've always done it, and I build them under budget and ahead of schedule. They could have $4 billion. This is a renovation job for $4 billion. And if you look at the building, it's not even, I don't know if Kevin Walsh is ever going to be able to move into it. It's been under construction for years. It's the most expensive building ever built. Now, I know it's grossly incompetent because I happen to think he's grossly incompetent. Today, certainly, he should be lowering interest rates, all right? Certainly, who would not lower them? But he's stubborn, and he's got Trump derangement syndrome. But a lot of people have that, it's not a curable disease. But he's also building, he should be lowering rates immediately. But he won't do that because he's a stubborn, incompetent person. And that's a bad thing. When you're stubborn and incompetent, I think it's the worst combination. And he's also not a smart person. But he's building a complex over there that's under his jurisdiction. He started it, and it's out of control. It's billions of dollars for a little building. I could have done that building and made it beautiful for $25 million. $25 million, and it would have been beautiful. Look what I've done at the White House, fixing it up, and the place was in bad shape. You see the floors and everything. It was in bad shape. I could have made that building beautiful for $25 million. They're spending $4 billion. All right, so there is criminality. Maybe it's with the contractor, but because I know more about contractors than any human being maybe that's ever lived, but that contractor is a very rich man. Whoever the contractor is, and we know, but whoever the contractor is an extremely rich man. He's going to make, he could make millions of dollars. I'm hearing numbers from $3 to $4 billion. That would make it the most expensive building on a square foot basis ever built in history. And you're not even building a building, it's a renovation. The exterior skin is staying, the steel is staying, the structure. So all I want to do is bring out to the public that this guy is incompetent. He's a very incompetent guy. And he may be a dishonest guy, but somebody's dishonest because there's no way that building can be $3 to $4 billion.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
Please.
Mr. President, you just mentioned Japan.
This looks like one of your people. Is he good or bad? Is he a good reporter or bad?
So,
Not. All right, looks like it does. Go ahead.
Mr. President, you just mentioned Japan is stepping up. What kind of support do you expect from Japan in the future?
Look, I expect Japan to step up because, we have that kind of relationship, and we step up with Japan. We have 45,000 soldiers in Japan. We spend a lot of money on Japan, and we've had that kind of relationship. So I expect, I'm not surprised that they would step up. We don't need much. We don't need anything. Honestly, we don't need anything from Japan or from anywhere else. But I think it's appropriate that people step up. In the case of Japan, I hear they get more than 90% of their oil through the strait. So that's a big reason to step up. I mean, we've demolished, that country is close to demolished. The only thing is the strait. It's very hard. You could take two people and they could drop little bombs in the water and they're holding things up. We don't want that to happen. But honestly, Japan, China, Europe, parts of Europe, get a lot of their oil through the strait. We get none, practically. We're less than 1%. We don't have to be any percent. We don't even, I think we do it just to be nice. But we think of it, we don't use the strait. We're defending the strait for everybody else. And then in the case of NATO, they don't want to help us defend the strait, and they're the ones that need it. But now they're getting much nicer because they're seeing my attitude. They're getting much nicer. But it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's too late. You know, UK wants to send aircraft carriers now. And I said, I want the aircraft carriers before the war. I don't want them after the war is won. They want to send me aircraft carriers after the war is won. There's practically nobody to shoot at them. You know, their missile count is down, Pete. Maybe you could discuss it by about 90-something%. The drones are way down, and the factories are being demolished.
Yes, sir. Our missiles being shot are down over 90% since the beginning. One-way attack drones down 90% since the beginning, which is a reflection of overwhelming firepower. But you mentioned the most important part, Mr. President. Their defense industrial base. If you can't make more of it in the future, then you have a limited supply. And so we're going after all of their defense contractors that make all of their exquisite weapons and ensuring that even if they wanted to rebuild more launchers or more missiles, they couldn't in the future. And that's a level of devastation for their military that they've never seen before.
So we have, in literally 2 weeks, we've demolished their Navy, their Air Force. All technology is gone, all communication is gone, and all of the leaders are gone. Other than that, they're doing quite well. Okay, how about one more question for the Prime Minister? Let me pick a beautiful person from Japan. A question for the Prime Minister. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, he doesn't really. Oh. He's just sounding shy. Go ahead, please.
Of course, now Japan and US are very good friends, but one question, why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia like Japan about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much, you know? When we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay?
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
He's asking me. Now, you believe in surprise, I think, much more so than us. And we had to surprise him, and we did. And because of that surprise, we knocked out, the first 2 days, we probably knocked out 50% of what and much more than we anticipated doing. So if I go and tell everybody about it, there's no longer a surprise, right? Okay, one more for the Prime Minister. Are you good for the Prime Minister?
Yes.
Go ahead, for the Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Japan's DG Press. Japan's biggest concern is China. Now they are giving us export control and very harsh terms to criticize us. So what would you plan to bring out relationship between Japan and China while you were there?
Well, I'll be going to China very quickly, but I think I'd really like to have the Prime Minister talk about China because I know they have a little bit of an edgy relationship, and I'd just like to know where it stands, how you're doing with China. So, please.
で、日本はいつも中国に対してオープンです。これはオープンにしています。それから、冷静に対応しています。で、とにかく米中関係も含めてですね、これが地域の安定、それから世界のサプライチェーン、これに貢献するものであることを願っています。日本は常にオープンです。
So first of all, Japan has been consistently open to dialogue with China. And also, second, we have been addressing our relations with China in a calm manner. And also speaking of the US-China relationship, my sincere hope is that the relationship will be something conducive for regional security and also ensuring the global supply chain in the world. Once again, I would like to reiterate that Japan has been consistently open to dialogue with China.
And I think we're gonna have a great trip. The trip has been postponed for about a month and a half. It's been reset, and we look forward to it. And I'll be speaking Japan's praises when I'm in China with President Xi. But we're gonna have some good talks today. And I think mostly about trade, because they want to do a lot of trade. They're a tremendous purchaser of our energy, our oil, gas, in particular Alaska. Because Alaska, believe it or not, is very close. It's much closer than any other source. It seems a little cold compared to, it's just a short trip.
So that's something that we will talk about.
We'll be discussing trade, and a lot of the talk will be about energy. Thank you very much, everybody.
I don't know why, but I guess time is limited because the Prime Minister, she was continuously looking at her watch. Thank you guys for joining us at Speak the Truth 2.0. My name is Cindy. I'm the host, and it's the co-host, Elijah. President Trump says a lot. He's been, like, he just had the Ireland Prime Minister on St. Patrick's Day, and now we have Japan's Prime Minister. So he's tapping into different parts of the world, but I think Japan, like, they're standing in solidarity because, you know, we are their allies with the United States of America. Like, I wish that they had asked a little bit more about, they did question her about how she felt about the war in Iran. She's supporting the United States of America. So Trump does have different countries that are standing with the actions taken by the United States along with Israel. So I don't know what the outcome is going to be with this Iran war, but the Iranian people, they, like, I don't know if it's the majority are hopeful or they're happy the actions that the United States have taken against Iran because of the leadership. And but we're going to find out. Like, there's a reason. Like, the United States is not doing this because of the kindness of our hearts. Like, we wanted to stop any capabilities of Iran actually developing a nuclear bomb, because he felt as though the closer they get, I don't know, we're not getting the briefs. We're not getting the intelligence that's being given to the president. So what they allow the American people and the world to know is limited. We're just going by what the news media wants us to believe or what they're telling us. And that's why I like doing the lives. I want to do other lives and upload with, you know, issues that's going on. Because, like, when we're live, we get thousands of people in the chats, but when this comes down, nobody says anything. The chatter stops. But we want to hear from you. So we're going to do more stories in regards that you guys will respond to. We're going to look at the question. The poll question is it important for Japan to stand with the United States? And 45% said yes, and 54% said no. So the majority of people said it's not important for them to stand with the United States. And I would ask the people that said no, why is it important to have another nation standing with the United States, whether we're right or wrong? I mean, we stand with countries, whether they're right or wrong, because of allegiance, you know, because, you know, of allies. So, you know, sometimes you stand with people when they are not totally in the right, but for the reasons. If the leaders of Iran were actually close to still having a nuclear bomb, then it is safety for the world, because you don't want every country that's shaky to be able to have a button that they can push that will affect the entire world and start a nuclear war. Like AI wars or, boots on the ground wars, they're different than a nuclear war because, the radiation can travel through the air and it can wipe out countries.
That should have been a poll question.
What?
Should Iran be able to have a nuke?
Should they be able to have a nuke? I mean, like, what's the alternative? So we're only going by what they're saying, but there's always reasons behind it. Like Israel been fighting them, and they say it's been a threat. Now they talking about the Strait. That's where a lot of stuff is being. They have to go through the Strait for things to pass through it and all of that. So there's other reasons and underlying reasons that we probably will never know, but we gotta. At this point, we have no choice but to watch and see, and for those who want to trust the leadership of our government.
No one's betraying our ancestors. And if you looked at people like Malcolm X and stuff, you will understand that statement.
So as Americans, the people that we put in office, that's why it's important to hear it from the cat's mouth. When you get it diluted at the mainstream media, regardless who you listen to. I was an avid listener of MSNBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, the watching Morning Joe, Meet the Press. That's all I did. One side, that's all I did.
Yeah,
so I was getting all my news sources from the media, and I believed everything that they said. I wasn't listening to no Fox News and all the other news channels, but we have to evolve as people and get a broader viewpoint. So I don't listen to just Fox News or what they call left stream media. I listen to ground news. I like other news sources which are non-biased, and they show what the right believes, what the left believes, and then you can formulate your own opinion. And I think that's the best kind of news to get your information, when they can show you both stance and they can show you the middle ground. And then you can formulate what you choose to believe before, once this news conference, that he just did, once it hit the media, all the titles are going to be different than him meeting with the prime minister. They're going to be saying, oh, Trump said this or Trump said that, or the prime minister said this, or she didn't go along with Trump. See, then they make it controversial. But I like hearing it live, that then I'm hearing it from the people that's actually delivering the message.
Well, all news sources have a narrative they're pushing.
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah. Everybody has a news, and it's up to you to decide who you want to believe, what you want to believe. I rather not be in any war by myself. We're in a war. We are. And whether we want to be in one or not, it's going on. We rather not look at it that way, but that's actually the reality that's going on. My hopes right now is that this won't become an endless war, and we can pull out of this, that we don't lose more American lives or Palestinian lives or people from Israel, for them to lose their lives, because there's lives that are being lost, and we don't want people needlessly to be pushed into these wars when lives are being lost, because you can't get those back. Once you lose your life, that's it. It's over. That's it. People go in the military because they want opportunity. They have GI Bills. They have, they have different incentives to join. But I don't think they go in thinking, okay, I'm going in, but I'm gonna die. That would be like a no for most people. I ain't doing this. So, but when they're put in those situations, they want to fight for a reason. They don't want to be put in situations that I'm losing my life because all of a sudden you making these moves that's going to affect me personally, and I'm being given orders that I got to go here, do this in hostile territory that I might not come out of. If I'm gonna do all that, I want it to be done because it's necessary. And people were asking, was this necessary? This attack on Iran, was it necessary? Was it legal? That's what they're debating now in Congress. They're going through right now. They're holding hearings with Tulsi and some of the other leaders, and they're questioning why they attack Iran.
Oh, why I was laughing is because I was the one that made her question the Democratic Party is why I was laughing. She was straight down the ballot Democrats because they said, "Young man, save your mom from this foolishness."
No, I'm more than just I was a Democratic leader,
Yeah.
advocate, activist. I can put up pictures with me and Obama, Bernie Sanders, Biden. You could even look at some of my videos, or like I'm reading Biden and all this kind of stuff. I got selfies. I got everything with all of them. I have given speeches. I have represented hundreds of thousands of people as a spokesperson. I have done it all. I've been, just really supportive. I've been canvassing. I had boots on the ground. I had people doing telephone banking, the whole thing, calling around the country when you have the elections. So I very much was involved in politics, and I still am through here, but I haven't been campaigning, I haven't been canvassing, but I will probably be involved in that 2028 election that's coming up. So my son, the first time he voted was in the last election. I didn't like the candidates. I didn't like the stance because to me, the Democratic Party is not the same party of yesteryear. The Democratic Party has shifted into the LGBTQ, the non-citizen, the abortion, the same-sex marriage, and the transgender party, and it left out my community entirely. They promised, and the reason why I even pushed Biden's campaign, or I was in the DNC, the whole 9 yards. I have a resume of this. And my son was saying I should really show more so people have a more understanding. I was completely involved, but I was truly disappointed after Biden. I never knew the goal was just to open up the borders and not do anything for the American people, especially the Black community. They've been lying to us for 60 years, saying what they're going to do for my community, and they were the ones that tried to filibuster the Civil Rights Act, 70 days. They were the ones that did the Jim Crow. They were the ones that started Ku Klux Klan in Pulaski, Tennessee. They were the ones that was the author, Joe Biden, of mass incarceration of Black men. So when I started looking at all these things, and plus I'm a Christian, Jesus is not in abortion, same-sex marriage. So I started looking at all those things that was going against my personal beliefs and my personal, what standards, what I believe in. And I didn't expect that.
And they're just using the black.
And they take advantage of the Black vote. Now we need to, next coming election, we need to look at policy. We don't want marijuana. We don't want to be somebody sending us a Megan Thee Stallion and someone twerking in order to get our vote. That's not doing anything for our community. They try to bring in people to come in and replace our jobs, replace all our efforts, and then label us as lazy and unproductive, which is a lie from hell. We built this nation. We're not. Those are lies, and we're certainly not the thugs of this country. So, but they come in and they living off of our Civil Rights Act, and then they want to act like they're better than us, which is laughable. It's laughable because they rather be more with the white persuasion, thinking I'll be like them, because they they don't even want to identify as their own culture when the majority of them have melanin in their skin. All of them do. So it's just hilarious to me. So we see all through it, but it's going to be a big difference in that 2028 election because people are waking up, and I'm talking about all Americans. I don't want to be with a party that put America last. They won't even mention anything about Americans. I'm not voting for that.
When they want to stand up.
Wouldn't stand up for Americans in the State of Union address. And that's not saying I'm Republican. I'm an independent.
Yeah.
But I'm watching, because you got to offer me something to get my vote. My vote is precious. It's a priority. And that's why they fight so hard on both sides trying to get a vote. The Democratic Party brought in a whole 14 plus million people on our taxpayer dollars that we're paying $450 billion a year to support them, but won't take care of American vets or American citizens that are on the street. I'm going to do a video later on, if I have time, about how they got legal talking about I'm getting what did she say? She's getting $5,000 a month cash benefits and $15,000 in food stamps. And I hope that's not a month. That's what they're getting. Who has to work if you're getting $5,000 a month? They could get a single home. And they are. There, you go to the malls and go to the stores. You know who's shopping and buying? They are. Yeah. You go to the malls. Americans aren't shopping. They're not in the malls because they're trying to pay their bills. And everything's free for them. They can break all the laws, all the rules that we as Americans are expected to follow. So they're going to have to show me now. We're not going. This is Speak the Truth 2.0. We're not going to play these games. So that turned me off from that. Now, whereas Trump, I'm glad he closed the borders because we can't afford anybody else coming into this country on welfare.
Well, Rob, look it up and see what the non-citizens are getting from the American taxpayer dollars. We're going to have a video showing how much they're getting. They're getting over like 400 million per year.
450 billion
Yeah.
we are spending on them per year. But the fact is that they weren't brought in out of the kindness of our hearts. You don't open up the borders and allow terrorists, cartel, ISIS, 2.5 million gotaways, 50,000 national Chinese. You don't allow all this into your country. Everybody came in. That was out of the kindness of our hearts, without them trying to apply for citizenship. And this way they can respect the country and respect being here. They have no respect, the ones that just come in here. Now, the ones that's been here, they respect America, but not the ones when Biden opened up those borders, because everything's been handed to them. So why should they respect us? We give them everything.
They can't forget that they're taking like all of the room in the hospital.
Yeah, they're getting Medicare, Medicaid, they're getting that, Social Security, they on that. That's why they're fine. They've been on it. And that's our taxpayer dollars, but we won't take. But when Americans say they need SNAP, because when the government shut down, I think that was November or December, and they needed SNAP, they need $160 per month. I think, what was it, 42 million people or something like that? Then they they need to work. No, they were the working poor. You can't live off $160 worth of groceries. Don't last a week barely for one person, let alone a family of four.
Yeah, Rob keeps just defending it. How about you just look it up? Now he's saying they can't get Social Security.
They have been on Social Security. They kicked them off. They were getting Social Security. Even the Ukrainians that came in were getting Social Security. They were getting benefits. That's a fact. You go to your Social Security office, go to your hospitals, and they were flooding the doctor offices and the hospitals and the Social Security office. And everything was being given to them. But American, if you go in there, you get nothing. You gotta, they don't care if you're destitute. We got vets that are on the streets. We have American citizens that are on the streets that haven't gotten any help. But you had over 14 million plus people that came in here and they were put on welfare. Welfare. They were given everything. Everything. Because of why? Votes. It's all about votes. That's a whole nother voting block. They got the black vote. I'm telling you the truth. They got the black vote down on lockdown. 93% of black people vote Democrats, and we get nothing. We keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result, and they call that insanity.
Now they said, well, first Rob said he looked it up and they can't get Social Security, but someone else said, they said blaming illegal immigrants, and they spelled for wrong. For your
you started the word illegal.
Yeah.
Illegal means that you broke the law. You can't do that any other country, and it's it's saying that it's illegal is like a curse word. I mean, what's wrong with people? There's nothing wrong. This country has opened up to all immigrants. That's not the issue. The issue is come in here legally, apply for citizenship.
They're not realizing that's not allowed, coming here illegally.
They're not getting the memo that it's not allowed. And it opened us up to dangers that we didn't have to even consider, because it wasn't all good people that came in. They already know Venezuela, yes, they emptied their prisons. You know that. what was it, 15 million convicted rapists are running around the United States? Over 11 million convicted rapists? That's a start. 2.5 million gotaways, 350 terrorists that they know of. It only took, how many terrorists did it take to take down the World Twin Centers in New York? How many? You know, these are serious issues that Iran don't have to try to send a bomb or try to attack us from over there. You got Iranians that are here. They came in too.
You don't have to wish for that. The U.S. have already received a big lesson from Joe Biden and Kamala.
You know, the Democrats didn't even have a good candidate. Kamala was not chosen by the people to run for president. She was put in that position. There was no primary. You're supposed to have a primary, and American people are supposed to choose who to run for president. I'd rather for it to have been Josh Shapiro or someone like that, or Wes Moore from Maryland. You know, but Kamala, she wasn't even visible as a vice president. She was a border czar. You can look that up. Who was the border czar during Biden administration? And you'll see that it was Kamala. It was Kamala was the border czar. The border was completely open and being ran over.
Joe Biden had nothing to say.
Joe Biden was absent 40% of his presidency. And then we saw that he was suffering from dementia. Everybody got to see. They put him out there because they wanted Kamala to win because they saw Joe Biden was losing. But then they kept Kamala quiet for 2 months.
Rob, you're acting like the Democrats, what they did didn't happen. You're saying we're still blaming Democrats. Yeah, that's because this is what they did that we still have to fix.
Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe to Speak the Truth 2.0 and hit the alert.
He says crazy you guys still blaming Democrats when Trump's second term.
The problem is still here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why you have ICE. And then you have the Democratic Party. They don't fight for Americans. They'll fight you tooth and nail when people are already arrested for committing crimes in this country, being let back out into the community, and they will fight you to stop you from taking them into custody and shipping them out of the country. That's what they've been fighting for. Fighting to keep them. The ones that have committed, they want them to go back in the community and commit more assaults. I'm talking about ones that have, not the ones that's trying to come here, have the life, apply for citizenship. I'm talking about the ones that they're letting out of the prisons back into the community after committing a crime. And they fighting for that. That's who killed what's his name? Kilmar Garcia. So it's a lot to be said. And so I don't like the movement that's been going on with the Democratic Party. I'm not following any political figure like I'm beholden to them. I'm not beholden to any one party. I'm not beholden to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. I'm beholden to the truth. I want the party that's going to support Americans. And maybe that party doesn't exist. Americans are put on the back of the burner for everything. We have more debt than any other country in the world. Next to us is Japan with $15 trillion deficit. We have $38 trillion. No other country has a debt like we do. Well, the other countries are thriving and their citizens have free healthcare, free college, free all this. And the United States has supported the world into debt. And none of these presidents were doing anything about it. Our debt, interest on our debt costs more than our military.
You can't forget about them paying the Taliban.
Yeah, Taliban was getting, $40 million cash payment a week to Democrats. Cash payment that can't be traced, paying the Taliban. I think before Biden left, they had already paid them like $5 million in cash. We got people that need help here in the United States, but we cannot take care of our own, that we're more obligated to everyone else than Americans. Everything else, everybody's always about everyone else except for us. While we have inflation, we have a job shortage, and AI is coming in with a fury to take over most jobs. So in the next 5 years, unless you're a plumber or something that a robot can't do or AI can't do, you're going to find yourself jobless. And these are facts in a very short span of time within the next few. We see it now. We see it now. Call any business, it's answered by AI. From your banks, insurance company, whoever you call, it's AI answering the phone. You can't even get a human. You gotta keep saying human. I be fussing at freaking head. Put a human. I want a human. Then I just go blah, 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 blah. So it can't understand me. Put a freaking human on. I want to talk to a person. Those jobs are fleeting, they're fleeting. So it's a lot going on that we have to be mindful of. And so we want a party that's going to support job growth for everyone and for benefits for America. Put like they said, put Americans first. Put Americans first. We're paying it. Everything's off our tax dollars. Everything they do is off of the money made by us. And we're the last to benefit from it. When we have a catastrophe or a hurricane, a natural disaster, the money isn't there. FEMA isn't there because it went to illegal immigrants, the money. FEMA's not there. When they had the fires in California, FEMA wasn't there. They still haven't done anything. When they had the hurricanes in North Carolina, flooding, all these different natural disasters, money wasn't there to help American citizens. Nothing. Our American vets are on the street. We have Americans living in cars more than ever, vans more than ever. They have no money, no jobs, no stability. So we need to do something about that.
Look what someone said. They said 68,000 per illegal annually times 20 to 40 million of them.
Damn.
God dang.
I don't think we don't understand. It's not against, they didn't ask to be here. Our leaders opened up the border and wanted to flood them in for votes. They didn't care what the outcome would be for this country. Right now, they making fake food, water, everything is going to become limited. You got to take care of these people. You got to feed these people and have that many people come in all at once in a span of 4 years. That's a lot for any country to take on, period. That's a lot. And we supposed to be still surviving, for lack of a better word. That's a lot in 4 years. So anyway, you guys, don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe to Speak the Truth 2.0. Check out my other channel, Speak the Sports. Please subscribe to Speak the Sports. I'm probably upload today. I know that channel was taken off and I stopped because I'm busy. And but I want to really do my it's about NFL football and NBA basketball. It's a sports channel. So if you like football and all that, I am a football fanatic. I love college ball, NFL, and NBA. So anyway, that's Speak to Sports, and I have Pray to All here. So right now I got up Psalm 91. I need to work on that channel as well. But all this stuff takes time. So anyway, you guys, thanks for joining Speak the Truth. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification bell. We're not using teleprompters. We're not masquerading like just to get people the super chatters, which we deserve. But we are doing this because it's important. And people are watching from all over the world. So they need to see people that are real, that's not bought out, paid out, or whatever. They can actually speak the truth. Whether you agree or disagree, it's fine. That's called America. You can agree to disagree.
Someone's acting like the trillions of dollars we spent on illegal immigrants isn't a lot because of
we shouldn't be spending it at all. The border, how about it should have never been open? We got problems now that we shouldn't have because of the former party did this to us. That's why it's discussion now. Yeah. We shouldn't even be going through all of this.
Because they were saying it's not a lot compared to the debt Trump added to the country.
It shouldn't be there at all. And he came into office with $36 trillion worth of debt. The debt keeps going up because the interest rate is going to continually go up. And he's trying to do whatever he can to control the stock market and all this other kind of stuff he's trying to do and bringing jobs and building all this stuff he's trying to accomplish because nobody comes and build in America. Nobody buys America goods. Nobody does give back. We're paying more for prescriptions than anybody else in the world. Everything, like, they just robbed Americans, the rest of the world, of our kindness, our goodness. Why are we paying more than the UK for the same prescription or more than Canada? Why are we are giving more to everyone else? We gave more to Ukraine than they did over in Europe. Why? How did that happen?
That's why he tried to do tariffs, but they stopped that.
He's trying to say, look, y'all not being fair to the United States. We do all this and y'all don't give us anything back. We here to collect. That's the part of Trump. I like being a businessman, but I want it to benefit us. We need the jobs. I don't want people losing jobs and he's not replacing jobs. That's not good. And I don't know how much it's going to change in the future because AI is serious. If y'all don't believe it, you're going to find out in a short period of time. AI is something that you should be focused on, and you need to find another source of income, a way that you can support your family, because a lot of jobs, and now they can't wait to have the robots, the humanoids. This stuff is like sci-fi is coming true. They already trying to make these humanoid robots that can do what you can do. They already got deliveries with robots now that they're testing out. They got all that. Even people that normally would bring you your food, they get rid of those jobs. Your DoorDash, they're going to have DoorDash robot. So you got to be mindful. Look at the US dollar. It's devalued. It's like it used to control the world. The economy. The dollar had so much value. It doesn't any longer. That dollar is not worth what it used to be. And that's really a lot that means a lot that most Americans are not paying attention to. But we'll find out. You'll find out. So anyway, you guys, thank you for joining us. God bless you. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully, they can't. Nobody's gonna
That guy been.
What?
I think he was trolling earlier.
Who?
That guy.
This one?
I'm not sure that's.
Yeah, but people are not going to be able to make it. Your seniors aren't going to be able to make it. Young people are not going to be able to make it. Households are not going to be able to make it because things are changing rapidly, and it's a fact. Go in your supermarket. Go see what your mortgage is. Your car payments. Our average car note is like $1,000. It's almost average now. A car note is as much as a mortgage, and then you have to pay your utilities. So you have a lot of other bills that you have to pay. And going out to dinner, like a minimum, if you have a family of 4 and you want to take them out to dinner, you want to drop an easy $200. That's an easy for a basic restaurant. By the time everybody get beverages and get their meals, dessert and tip, it's a $150 to $200, and that's at a basic restaurant. That's not even at like a Michelin restaurant, 5-star, 4 or 3-star. I'm talking about just your everyday average restaurant. Average, like, just to get like say 10 wings is $20. Winglets, they're winglets. That's not feeding a family. So to feed a family, you need like to spend $40 to get,
What source do you think we're using for our information? She's already told you ground news.
Ground news.
We're not looking at just one.
Yeah, not looking at Fox and it's Now and NBC, but I do listen to both sides to see what they're saying, to get perspectives. But I like ground news because they give you the left and the right and how they're leaning. They give you the percentages or what each party believes in and what they support. So I like ground news. I probably need to do a brand deal with them because I do be promoting them.
Yeah, Bob's he's having a little pissy fit.
Well, good luck. God bless you. And it'll be all right. But the truth hurts. People don't like people to speak the truth. Yeah. And that's how it is, because people are more comfortable with what's going on around them to be lied to than to accept reality that we all need to be looking out and paying attention to what's going on inside of our country. And people who are on here from different parts of the world, they're looking at what's happening in the United States because we're the leaders of the world. So it affects them as well.
His name is Rob. Yeah, he's saying he doesn't believe that we use unbiased source.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Because I'm not talking great about either or. Neither one, the Republicans or the Democrats. I have been speaking evenly about what I feel about both parties. You know, when Trump came in, strength through peace, America first, but we're spending a lot of time about everybody else and everything he tries to do here in the United States. Everybody fight him on everything, which we don't agree with anybody 100% of anything, neither party. So
he said, nah, people don't like when propaganda is wrapped under truth.
You know what? Everybody has their own truth, because if you're not going along with what they believe in, then it's propaganda, and then it's like, then it's an issue unless you're saying what they want to hear.
Yeah.
I'm not beholden like you are to neither party. I'm beholden to Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior. I'm not beholden to man. I'm beholden to what's right. And for people to do right. I don't want people to talk game. I know game. I don't want people to manipulate and deceive me into voting for them, and then they get into office and they don't do what they say they're going to do. Period. I'm tired of that. And you should be tired of it too. What have they done for you personally? How much better is your life and your kids, your family, your job security? Well, what are they doing for you? Have prices going down? Inflation going down? That's what they should be focused on, so that you can have a better life, so you can have the American dream as an American. That's like moving behind us now. As an American, you got nonsense coming in having living the American dream better than Americans. Yeah. It's like crazy. And there's no way on God's green earth anybody that fought for this country should be living out on the streets while we take care of non-citizens like they have more rights than a citizen of this country that has fought for this country. Period. Period. If you don't like that, oh well. They should not be doing better than people who fought for this country. And the people who died for this country, their families should be honored and taken care of, because they gave up the most precious thing they have, was their sons, daughters, or husbands, or wives. Period. Until we do right by Americans, then, oh well, I'm not for neither party. You got to do right by all Americans. And while you take care of the rest of the world, because we tapped out. Bank of America is closed. We need people to come and help us. And even what's going on now, that's what Trump was talking about. Other countries, they're benefiting for everything America does, but they don't support us doing it. They don't support us doing it. Like he said, UK want to come in. Amen, sister. Like UK want to come in and help now. He said, but I needed you to help before this all got started. And now you want to come in and do something. And he's like, look, Trump was like, we really don't even need your help at this point, because you should have been there like we would have been there for you. So anyway, you guys, I got to jump on. Off. And, some people, that's how it is. And that's why it's great to be Americans. We have freedom of speech, and you can say how you feel. But nobody has to go along with anybody. And we're not trying to convince anybody that ever comes on the 19 million people we've had that viewed us that they have to go along with what we believe. You have a right to believe whatever you want to. We're not here trying to convince you, change your opinion. We're just putting it out there for you to digest, and you can take it any way you want to. That's
Look
it.
at it from another perspective.
Yeah, and other people in the chat, you're chatting it well. There are people that don't agree with you. And then there are people that do agree with you. That's called life. Everybody's not going to agree.
The question is, where did he go now? Now I don't see him commenting.
Well, anyway, I got to jump off because I haven't even had breakfast yet. So anyway, you guys, God bless you. We're going to jump on, or we're going to upload on Speak to Sports. We'll put it in the chat. And don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe. You can always super chat us anytime you want to. We do appreciate it because we're building the channel. If y'all know people that know more about YouTube than I do, because this channel took off so fast, I'm still learning. And that can help me build the channel. I appreciate it. You can leave that comment in the once this chat is over with, this stream is over with, leave a comment. Maybe you guys know people that are good on YouTube that can help me, navigate this channel and make it better for you guys. Because you always want to work with a spirit of excellence. So we want to be better than what we are.
Said might be a good time for a third party, truly a
Yeah.
grassroots party.
Yeah.
And he said lost 100 viewers after immigration facts shared.
Yeah.
And stuff hurts people's feelings these days.
Yeah, but they don't want to hear it. But
Yeah.
they don't want to be about Americans. I just don't get it. Don't want to be about Americans. It's like that's like we're not supposed to be about Americans. I don't think vets should be on the streets.
Yeah.
I don't think American citizens should be on the streets. At one time, I thought we couldn't even help them. But when you open up the board, has shown me that we could have taken care of them the whole time. But because they want votes, because that's the most important thing, they don't care about anything else. And they're not fighting for Americans. They're fighting for non-citizens for votes. That's why they've been showered everything. Because they say we don't have to give black people anything. Guess what we do? Because we all vote straight down ballot. Don't look at policy. We gonna souls to the poll. We just gonna vote Democrat. And I know it because that was me. Okay, but at a larger level than that, because I actually was in politics as a legislative director. So anyway, you guys, God bless. Take care. People love heads and sand, and hope goes away but won't get worse. Yeah, me too. Me too. What they say, Eli M. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's beautiful, Mom. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time. We don't take you for granted. Don't forget to hit those like, share, and subscribe, and turn on alert because we just pop up. We don't have any time that we just come on. We just come on. So, have the alert, the notification bell, so you know when Speak the Truth 2.0 is on live. But anyway, you guys, I want to do another live, but I got some business I got to take care of, a lot of business. And hopefully I'll be able to do something else today because it's important to speak up and speak out. In the meantime, peace out, you guys. God bless. See you on the next live.
God bless. Bye.